So, hello, friends. Another episode where we are talking about the dance of polarity. Um, Today, I just finished one session, and I think this is a good example which I'll be talking about today on what happens in our daily life. And some of the case studies are interesting. So, I will be sharing a case study with you. So, I'm working with someone now. He is married person and he has discovered that the love of his life he has left. So after the marriage, after so many years, he has met the love of his life. And and for the first time he is discovering all the qualities he has missed in himself. So now he feels alive, he feels more masculine, he feels more stronger, he is happy, he's smiling all the time. And what he has done is, he was open about it, and he has spoken to his family. His children know about this woman who has entered his life. And now they're, initially the children's everybody supported because he was being true. And now it's got into more complexity, right? Because nobody's liking it. Their father is not available, he's being taken away. The wife is now triggered, she's getting more triggered. And so, this man says he's found his soul connection, the soulmate, and now he's thinking of leaving his family, moving out to this woman. And this woman is also married, and they feel they are the perfect match who has not met before. So all these things. So what happens is there's a lot of pain, both the sides, a lot of pain. So I was talking to him, and he kept on telling me how she is the soulmate, and how she's so important in his life. And this connection is important, and he wants to get this connection in his life somewhere. And he keeps talking about her, how beautiful it is, how important she is, keeps talking. And so what I'm trying to come at here, friends, if we see the dynamics, the ego plays a lot of role in us also. When we come into these soul connection, soulmate, and twin flame, all these things can be very, very misleading, because all we are trying to do is we are trying to empower ourselves. So there's nothing, I'm not saying there is something wrong with this case, and nothing is about wrong and right, but it's about just understanding the dynamics. Now this man has been living a very suppressed life. His wife has been not there for him, and he has just done his responsibilities and taken a simple life. It was an arranged marriage and living like that, and suddenly he wakes up to this woman who is so much what he wanted in his life. There's nothing wrong in it, but what I'm trying to come here at a point is that the attachment to something, that this person has to be there in my life to make me feel good, to make me feel masculine. This is what we need to look at, because there can be relationships in our life who can be like a mirror. Sometimes these mirror are hard mirrors, sometimes these mirror are loving mirrors. So in this case I'm talking, it's a loving mirror. This woman has come to his life to make him realize that you are such a beautiful man, you are talented, you have so many qualities inside you. But rather than, you know, looking at the qualities and what this woman has brought to him, he is getting more and more attached to this woman. Rather than embracing this relationship, now it has come to a pain. Now he's not able to embrace this relationship, though he is so happy. Okay, my childhood love has come back to me. I could not get married to her in the childhood. Now she has come back to me. Now it has become an attachment. Now it has got a pain. Why the pain? Because the children are not approving. He's married. He can't get married. This woman is also get married. So this complexity happens, friends. So many couples, they suffer through this. The suffering is not there because of relationship. The suffering is not there because of love. See, whenever we get love, it's like a gift. Somebody is coming to us to tell how beautiful you are, how loving you are, and it's perfectly okay to embrace that, right? So the man can definitely embrace this beautiful connection with the woman. But what is creating a misery is not the connection with the woman, the attachment to the identity. That another external woman is required to make me feel the man that I am. That is the attachment. So, what is the solution, friend? The solution is this man needs to awaken his inner feminine. He has to love himself. He has never loved himself. He has been detached from his emotion. He has been just like a workaholic, just doing his duties. He has never really embraced himself, nurtured himself. He doesn't know these qualities. So, if he can bring the attention towards what the relationship has brought to him, not from the perspective of I think I discussed the three stages of relationship. The first stage is like clinging to each other, right? You give me this, I give you this. It's kind of that kind of relation. But if he can bring his attention to understand what is the healing that is happening at this point of time in his life, he can embrace this woman, and he can embrace his wife also. He can embrace his children also, because every relation is worth embracing. Every relation brings something to us like a gift. This relation is also bringing a gift to him, and he can glow, he can celebrate, and he can become more like a man. He can start becoming more present. He can leave the past, he can leave the future, he can start becoming more present. He can also start becoming more going towards his goal. He can be more meditative now. See the chance, see the opportunity that comes along with the relationship. But our mind creates these stories that, oh, I am not that good enough, and I need someone to approve me. I need an approval, someone to tell me that I am that divine man, I'm that divine woman. And we get stuck to this approval, we get attached to this person. That brings misery, right? So rather, if this man gets more aware through his practices, I spoke about how to be more aware of our energies, the masculine and the feminine energy. And I keep talking about meditation, right? Because that's the basic of everything. If we are not meditating and we are doing all kind of spiritual practice, that's not spirituality at all. That's just listening to some lectures and enjoying life, nothing else. No, that's not a spiritual path. If we are really spiritual, if we call ourselves like we are on the path to find God, then we need to meditate. And meditation makes you so present. Meditation makes you so grounded, and you can be aware of what's happening around you. So if this man, which I'm talking about, he starts meditating, going more inwards rather than going outward. Always we have a tendency to go outward, catch this woman, get married to him, live his family, and just go away, live a great life. That never happens. Even there, he will find some problem because he'll feel guilt that he has left his family. How can he be happy? So the conflict is there because he's not aware. He thinks somebody else is bringing that thing, what he is requiring. Nothing is outside. Nothing is outside, friends. So he when he meditates, he becomes a meditator, and he takes responsibility. Meditation is also taking responsibility of ourselves, of others. So when he takes responsibility, he'll be able to understand that he is a divine man. He does not need any kind of approval. He can cultivate self intimacy. I call it self intimacy. Even we can practice sexuality inside us. Nothing else is required. If okay, there is a partner is there, good. If we are lucky, we get good partner, we can enjoy sexuality with them. If not, then also we can practice self intimacy. We can practice compassion, love. Everything is inside us. So my point is, friends, here is, we get sometimes diverted in this path, looking out for that right man, the right woman who is going to come into my life and make me feel the. Yes, there can be some person coming to remind us about our divinity, to remind us that yes, I am a divine masculine, I am a divine feminine. But that's a reminder. The person has come to ignite something that we have forgotten. So we come back to ourselves to remember, thank you, my dear friend, thank you, my dear lover, for making me realize that, oh, I am that divine man. Thank you. And we start growing more in our identity, whatever we want to express ourselves as, right? So uh, many times people make me talk about soulmate and especially twin souls, and I say no, 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 I will not go into these subjects. Very misleading terms. It's not that they don't exist, they do, but very few, not many people. Who how many people are ready for twin flames? Twin flame is quite an intense relationship. We all feel, we want twin flame relationship, right? But no, we generally we want to have these spiritual jargons around us to satisfy our ego. We are not looking at the kind of scarcity that we are sitting in, right? We want to fill it with some kind of thing, and we want to call it spirituality, or we want to. And what happens is these kind of things can lead into further suffering. And then these people say, the spirituality is whole nonsense thing, nothing works, all fake things. This therapy is bad, that therapy is bad, it doesn't works. Yeah. So because we are talking about identities, friends, here, the masculine and the feminine, the identity can be divine, or the identity can get toxic also. I think I was talking about the toxic masculine, toxic feminine in the other session. So only awareness is the practice. So this man needs to be more aware. When he is aware, he will be grateful. Oh, thank you, this lover has come from the past to remind me about the divine masculine that I am. Thank you for making me live again. Thank you for reminding that I can celebrate life. Thank you. And at the same time, he can embrace his um, wife and children. I'm not saying that divorces don't happen. Sometimes a divorce can be a wow experience. But just we have to ask ourselves, where are we coming from? Is it coming from the space of fear? Oh, if I lose this person, I will not be the divine man or the divine woman anymore. Or is it coming from a space of love and gratitude? Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for embracing me. Thank you for making me live again. And then this can be so beautiful, friends. This can be so beautiful. And this man can tell his wife that, there, if he's comfortable, if the wife, so we have to grow in our relationships. And if he can talk from clarity, I'm sure this wife will understand. And there can be a beautiful friendship. We always want to look into solution, conclusion. We want to jump into conclusion. But I feel the greatest relationship is first friendship. Before anything, before being a husband or a wife or anything, friendship. And friendship brings so much compassion and love, right? So we need to be friends with our partners first. And this man can be first, he can be a good friend before becoming a good lover or a whatever, becoming a good friend. And then he can really resolve this issue in his life, right? So I thought of bringing a case study, because I keep working with lot kind of people with extramarital affair, different kind of issues, and I just finished a session, and I thought, I'll just talk about this case study. And there's so much to learn. Whenever I do a session, it's such a library of information that opens up to me, and I feel so grateful for this phase of learning that I am in. Yeah, so if you have any questions at this point of time, you can ask me. If there's any sharing, I'd love to hear.
I thought that was interesting because it gives us different perspectives to how to look at relationships, because we are raised to look at relationships in a very unilateral manner. So when
Yeah.
you talked about this case study, it becomes a little uncomfortable when you have very strong beliefs, but then it also helps us to introspect over the next few days to see that how we could look at relationships in different ways.
Yes. Yes.
So I think in that
Thank you.
perspective,
Thank
this
you.
was very interesting.
Yeah. So maybe you can consider
Thank you
as
for
one
so
perspective
much
of it.
bringing this topic. But I have a doubt here. So
Yes.
here in this case, why the man find his love of his life in a woman outside the marriage? Why they were not able to, that husband and wife were not able to find that chemistry or connection with each other? So we have to work in that part also, right? um, like
Yeah,
uh,
so these connections like happens, like for example, a person gets married, like what we call is arranged marriage. Sometimes that spark is really not there. You can't do anything about it. The chemistry is not there. You can't bring in a chemistry. Yeah, sometimes the chemistry is just not there. The spark is not there. And I feel, if I see it from a soul perspective, the soul perspective is sometimes you need a kick in your life, because see what you are doing to your marriage. You're not living it fully, perhaps. So another person comes to awaken your soul and say, your potentiality is so much. Why are you sleeping? So this kind of havoc is created in a marriage to awaken everybody up. It shakes the entire family. So that's only I can feel from the soul's point of view, that the soul would choose such a conflict, because it's a conflict, right? If you don't know how to embrace it, the other part is the conflict. So if it's a conflict, then you go through your conflict and you rather awaken yourself to your full potential, because any conflict, any kick that we get as a challenge in our life is to awaken you, right? So either you embrace it, or you take it as a kick to get to your full potential, live your full potential, right? So I'm not sure if I answered you, Naina.
yes, yes, of course.
Thank you. Anything else? Any other questions? Okay. Diptiji, we are done for today.
Yes. I think, I think this is something which gives all of us food for thought, for all of us to,
Yeah, yeah.
like I said, not look at relationships in unilateral ways. And again, the answer is not simple and not the same for everybody. In answer to Naina's question, same situations can
Exactly.
mean different things to different people. Different people may decide to respond differently, depending on where
Exactly.
you are in your soul evolution and based on the lessons that you have to learn. Some may decide to break the marriage and move away. Some may decide to stay back and continue the same way, or some may also decide to stay back and do something differently. I mean, the options are limitless.
Yes, exactly. And nothing, outside can define what is right and wrong for anyone, right? It has to come from that person inner self, inner guidance only. And all I meant to say is, let us first find our inner self, our inner core, so that we can come from that inner core, and whatever decision we take from there is the right decision for that particular person.
Yeah, I think,
So
Aditya, that's
thank
a
you,
key
Deepti,
point
for
that you have said,
bringing
that
that.
there's nothing right or wrong in any of the decisions that you take. I think that's a
Yeah,
key point.
yeah. Because I have worked with cases where divorce is like a wow, it's the greatest decision that they made in their life. So that can also happen. So divorce is not always bad. Yeah. So it can be a aha moment for many people. Yeah.
Right. So let's leave this session for this as food of thought. And next
Yes.
Monday, we could probably start at discussing if there's some new revelation which the
Yes, and maybe I
participants
can
have
bring in
had.
some more interesting case studies also in this regard, so that we know how to work with the polarity.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that will be good if you can just give examples like this. Will give
Yeah,
different
examples are more
perspectives.
interesting, I think.
Yes.
Case studies are more interesting.
Yeah, it will give different perspectives.
Yeah, DPG, I think we should start some case studies now. I think that
Yeah, let's
matters.
do that. Let's do that. And probably next Monday morning, you could just put up a synopsis of the case study on the group so that people who are interested can come in. I mean, not the details, but a one liner
Okay,
or a two liner.
okay.
So
Yeah.
that,
So just ping me, and I'll think of that, and I'll ping you back.
sure, done. And thank you so much for today. And thank you for sharing this.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, people, for
Thank you.
participating.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Wonderful.
Bye.
Bye.